Anti-war protesters are taking to the streets across the nation as the Iraq conflict enters its 5th year. While some marched to the Pentagon, demonstrators in the Valley closed in on the federal courthouse downtown.
Thousands died, Bush lied, thousands died, Bush.
The Las Vegas Out of Iraq Coalition came together this afternoon for what they call a patriotic protest. Monday marks the 4-year anniversary of the invasion of Iraq, and protesters want Congress to end the occupation, take better care of veterans, and stop the president from expanding the war to Iran.
As taxpayers, we are obligated to come out here and protest this kind of use of our taxpayer money and what's being done in our name. Whether or not it changes things tomorrow, eventually things will change. We do it because we just feel like we have to do it.
This is the 4th protest the group has organized since the war began. On Monday, the group will hold a candlelight vigil.
More than 3,000 military men and women have lost their lives in Iraq since the war started. Demonstrators from throughout the valley, including a number of teenagers, turned out to voice their concern. One Palo Verde student said she never really paid much attention to the war in the past, but has since focused much of her attention to the conflict.
I never really was involved in what was going on and around me. I was just into, my own little teenage life and what I was doing and having fun. And then I started to realize that there's a lot more going on out there that I wasn't paying attention to. And I don't think it's right. So I want to take a stand on it.
She went on to say she wishes more teenagers would take time to learn more about the war in Iraq.
Just days before the 4th anniversary of the start of the war in Iraq, demonstrators around the world and across the nation march in protest against a war that's claimed thousands of lives. And Southern Nevada is certainly no different. Action News reporter Jeff Gradney joins us live with the story of protesters here at home demonstrating against the battles unfolding thousands of miles away. Jeff?
Well, Christina, protesters who came here today came from all over southern Nevada, and the crowd here today was larger and louder than before. Now, many of the protesters gathered in front of the Las Vegas Federal Building say they feel President Bush just isn't listening to what they and some other Americans want. So while the president's been pushing for a troop buildup in Iraq, people here say they've been pushing to pull more others into their protest movement. Today, many who came here were from a younger generation.
We're fighting for peace. We want our troops home.
What we want? Peace. When we want it? Now. This is great. It's a wonderful showing. There are lots of people here, much bigger than the march we had in January. The people are tired of this. They want out, and this is demonstrating it.
Reporting live, I'm Jeff Gradney, Channel 13 Action News.
But first, local protesters say it's the biggest anti-war rally ever here. Almost 4 years after the Iraq invasion, numbers are growing.
This is Fox 5 News at 10, local Las Vegas.
Good evening, I'm Lorraine Blanco. Protesters crowded the streets outside the federal courthouse today, chanting against the war in Iraq and the president. Fox 5's Bob Deninis is live from the federal courthouse with details. Bob?
Lorraine, every car that drove by, every person that walked by on this sidewalk noticed these protesters. But did they motivate or did they agitate? The chants,
George Bush has gotta go, hey, hey, ho, ho.
The signs, some nice, some not so nice. Lines like Bush lied, a war of lies, and support our troops, bring them home.
Mr. Bush must retire.
And on this St. Patrick's Day, a long line of protesters on Las Vegas Boulevard were delivering a strong message.
And I've got a son on active duty in the Army who's already been in the war zone once. And I feel this war was started for the wrong reasons, and it needs to be stopped now.
That's why he and hundreds of others exercised their right